Why do over a third of letting agents use Fixflo in the UK? Talk to me.
So we set out with a very simple goal of taking the pain out of repairs and maintenance. Didn't quite realise how complex it was, but we've spent 5 years investing in one thing, which is the repairs and maintenance process. But our company mission is to help professional property managers deliver excellence to their clients.
Okay.
And we're not perfect. We try to improve every day. We upgrade the software every 2 weeks, and thankfully, the fact that we've got well over 1,500 companies in the UK using our software means we're doing something right to help them.
I mean, if you don't mind me saying, Raj, I know you're not going to, but I interview an awful lot of people, and a question I always like to ask them is, what's your favourite prop tech? And for some reason, your name is nearly always there. Why do you think that is? Because it's all very good having prop tech. Let's be honest, most prop tech is creating solutions to problems that agents don't have. But what makes yours so different? Because let's be honest, sorry, I'm jumping in, but there's plenty of other firms out there that do what you do. Why do you do it so well?
Because I'm glad that people think that we do it well, and that's really motivating to hear. So why do we do it well? We start with what's right for the customer, and the customer isn't just the agent. But I view repairs and maintenance as a sort of social problem, in the sense that you've got multiple parties who need to be involved, who need to be happy with the process. So that's tenants, landlords, contractors, agents and insurers, and we work really hard to make sure that we're delivering really great value for all of them, and that's our guiding light. So when I started the business, I started by going door to door around letting agents, mainly in London, some outside, and some of them kindly gave me 5 minutes of their time to tell me a little bit about the process.
You mean what? You actually mean you as a prop tech firm actually went and asked letting agents what they wanted? That's unheard of.
It's, I think, the only way you can build a product that's right for the market.
Okay. Do you think people in the industry, other people in prop tech, do the same? Well, I don't think they do, but do you? That they go out and do the shoe leather?
I don't know if they do. We started a little bit earlier than a lot of the other companies, and we did it in different ways. So we didn't go out and raise millions of pounds at the outset. We bootstrapped the business, which basically meant my business partner and I started by working for no wages with no external investment in the basement of an estate agency. And that meant that we didn't have the pressures from venture capitalists or the like to go out and make lots of money. We could start with what was right for the customer. Okay. And the truth isn't what's in our head, the truth is what's in their businesses. So that's what I spent months doing before we even launched the product.
So in a sentence, what does Fixflo actually do to the three people watching this that don't know what it is?
Fixflo simplifies the maintenance process so agencies can be more efficient and provide a better service to both landlords and tenants.
What does that actually look like from the tenant's point of view?
So tenants go to a website. We have other ways for them to get in touch, like an Alexa app and stuff like that. But typically, there'll be a tenant goes to a website which is branded as the agency. They don't need to know what their problem's called. They just need to know what it looks like. So it's a picture-driven system. Click on what your problem looks like. They can put their problem in any of 42 languages, and it goes to the agent in English. They add photos, videos. Basically, the whole point is get the right information from the tenants, empower the tenants to give the right information, to know what they need to say, to help their problem be fixed first time.
And how does that help property managers and letting agents?
So it helps them in a couple of main ways. The first is, on average, 18% of issues are self-resolved by tenants, by us giving them guidance and advice on what they can fix themselves. There's all triage steps. So from a tenant's perspective, if the heating's not on, they don't really typically care who fixes it as long as the heating comes back on. So we give them some troubleshooting guides. That's the first thing. The second is, by getting better information at a tenant's convenience from a couple of clicks of their phone, the letting agent doesn't need to then get back in touch with the tenant to get further information. They don't need to send someone out to visit the property.
Because let's be honest, when the repair comes in, it's always on a Monday morning. They're always moaning, and then you've got to organise the contractors, and you've got to speak with the landlord, and the invoices, the quote comes back, and then you've got to send it on to the landlord. It's all a lot of faff, isn't it? What does Fixflo do to help that?
So Fixflo is a complete end-to-end repairs and maintenance solution, from repair reporting.
You're not allowed to use the word solution. That's a prop tech firm. So, no, go
on. Thing. It's a thingy.
It's a thingy.
It's a widget.
I like that.
That basically allows everybody to deal with the repair. So right the way from getting landlord approval for quotes, managing quotes through contractors, even kicking off an insurance claim can all be done with one or a couple of clicks within the system.
So basically, it comes through from the tenant logs the problem. It comes through to the agent if it hasn't been able to be self-sorted, and then the agent can then press a button to get a quote, to get an estimate. That goes through to the plumber.
Yep.
Or whatever.
So if the plumber's using our free native app, it pings on their phone, say, Watkins Lettings has asked you for a quote. Could you please enter your quote? The quotes then go back to the property manager.
What if the person needs to go and visit the property? Does it give the contact details of the property?
So they can text in-system message or call the tenant through the platform.
Oh wow! So they're not as if you're writing numbers down, because you know what plumbers are like with bits of paper.
So it's all there. So
the contractor can contact through the app the tenant to make a contact. And then the message comes back through the system back the other way.
Yeah.
So the person doesn't actually need to know the telephone number. Just it goes through the system and it arrives at the other end.
Yep. So they can arrange access.
Okay.
The property manager gets complete oversight.
Okay. What sort of communications go to the landlord then? Do you then have to download it and print it off and send it to the landlord?
So it's one click. So effectively, you can choose to just let the landlord know that something's happened. So a nice polite email. As a landlord, I like to know in advance before I just see a deduction from the rental on the statement. Alternatively, or in addition, you could get quotes through to them for approval, or even at the outset, just click one button and say, this has been reported, what would you like us to do? And all of that's completely audited and time and date stamped.
So let's say the work gets done and the tenant's happy. What about sending bills and things like that? Is that all sorted in it?
So the contractors can create their invoice in the system, they can upload an invoice from their accounting package. We're not an accounting package at all, but we work with lots of the biggest CRM accounting packages, and the information goes straight into their system for processing.
Okay, what about all the information, but putting all of that into the letting agent's CRM system? Do they have to repeat it?
So it depends whether they're using an integrated solution. If they are, then the full audit history of the job goes over automatically when the job's been closed off.
So which ones do you work with? Which CRMs do you work with?
So we integrate with about 40 CRM systems around the world.
All the big ones in the UK?
So at varying levels, and they update quite a lot. So the best way to find out who we integrate with and what the current status of that integration is via our website. We also have a guide on our partners, and that's updated as new integrations go live.
So where do you think the future of, what else can you do in the future for letting agents using this system? Because it must save an awful lot of time and hassle, your system with the letting agents. Well, that's what my clients tell me.
So typically, our barometer of success for a client is, do we allow them to manage 33% more properties per property manager? That's the sort of typical level that we would see.
Those are impressive numbers.
And we've got to be looking for about 1 million homes in the UK using our software. That's across residential lettings, block management, and build to rent.
How does it make you feel that you're looking after probably 1 in 20 of the rental properties 20% of the rental properties in the UK?
I haven't really thought of it in that way. So I think of things in terms of our stage of company, and I feel like we've just exited the first third. We're now becoming teenagers, and we're growing and learning.
But how does it make you feel that you're looking after basically 20% of the UK's rental population?
I don't believe, so the way I look at it is we are helping people who look after 20%.
Exactly, and they're the ones that are actually doing the job.
They're doing the job. It's not, so we are a tool for their business. We're a tool to help them achieve their business goals, and our success is their success. So we want them to grow their portfolios. We want them to be hugely successful, and that's what gives me satisfaction rather than anything else.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you.